Wuchang Uprising, the armed rebellion that brought down the Qing Dynasty. The Wuchang Uprising was an armed rebellion against the ruling Qing Dynasty that took place in the city of Wuchang in the Chinese province of Hubei on the 10th of October 1911. This event began the Xinhai Revolution that successfully overthrew the last imperial dynasty of China. It was led by elements of the new army, which was influenced by revolutionary ideas from Tongmenghui, the forerunner to the Kuomintang. The uprising, then the eventual revolution, directly led to the downfall of the Qing dynasty after almost 3 centuries of rule and over 2,000 years of dynasties ruling imperial China. The uprising originated from a period of unrest over a crisis affecting the railway. On the 10th of October 1911, the new army stationed in Wuchang launched an assault on the residence of the Viceroy of Huguang. The Viceroy, Ruicheng, quickly fled from his residence, and the revolutionaries soon took control of the city. Background: the foundation of Tongmenghui. In 1895, China was on the losing side to Japan in the First Sino-Japanese War, an event that saw intellectuals in China become divided into several factions. Constitutional monarchist reformers such as Kang Youwei and Liang Qichao initially took control and orchestrated the 100 Days Reform. You can watch a video about that event through this link. However, those reforms fell badly due to the Wushu coup, orchestrated mostly by the Empress Dowager Cixi. Disillusioned with the ruling monarchy and the Qing government, several revolutionary groups began to emerge across the country. In 1905, revolutionary leaders such as Sun Yat-sen and Song Jiaran met in Tokyo to discuss a merger between these different revolutionary groups. From that meeting, a new group emerged, known as Tongmenghui. Railway Protection Movement. After the Boxer Rebellion had reached its conclusion, several of the Western powers sought investments in the growing railway infrastructure developing in China as part of their sphere of influence over China. Railway construction took place across Shandong, the Yangtze Valley, Kunming and Manchuria. Provincial governments, with the permission of the Qing court, also began to construct their own railways. The Canton Hankou Railway and the Sichuan Hankou Railway were under the oversight of the provinces of Guangdong, Hunan, Hubei and Sichuan. Faced with ongoing financial struggles, mainly due to the ongoing indemnity payments through the Boxer Protocol, the Qing government turned to Sheng Xuanhui in 1910. Described as a classic bureaucratic capitalist, Sheng adhered to the policy of securing financial loans through the nationalization of all the railway lines. This policy was met with strong opposition, particularly in Sichuan province, and the resistance quickly escalated into a movement known as the Sichuan Railway Protection Movement. In response to this, the Qing court suppressed the unrest by force, which led to a further decline in the government's popularity. By August 11th, there were massive strikes and rallies held in the provincial capital of Chengdu. On the 7th of September, the Viceroy of Sichuan, Zhao Erfeng, was asked to intervene vigorously, and he ordered the arrest of several key leaders in the Railway Protection League before ordering soldiers to open fire on protesters. Fighting broke out around the city, which brought additional soldiers into Sichuan province from central China. This movement of soldiers later became an important factor in the success of the Wuchang Uprising. Meanwhile, inaction towards nationalization of the railway lines in both Hubei and Hunan were criticized by the local press in those provinces, which in turn led to further loss of confidence in the Qing government as the railway crisis escalated. Prelude. At the time, there were 2 revolutionary groups in the Wuhan area. the Literary Society, and the Progressive Association. These groups, led by Jiang Yiwu and Sun Wu respectively, worked closely together as commander and chief of staff of the revolutionary efforts in Wuhan. Beginning in September 1911, these two groups began negotiating with the Tongmenghui for possible collaboration in the next uprising. The date for this was set as the 6th of October during the Mid-Autumn Festival. This date was later postponed due to inadequate preparations. On the 9th of October, whilst Sun Wu was supervising the making of explosives in the Russian concession in Hankou, one of the devices exploded unexpectedly. Serious injuries were inflicted upon Sun. When he was hospitalized, the hospital staff, on discovering his identity, alerted the Qing authorities. New Army mutiny. With their identities revealed, the revolutionaries in the new army stationed in Wuchang were facing imminent arrest by the Qing authorities. The decision was made by Jiang Yiwu of the Literary Society to immediately launch the uprising, but the plot was leaked to the Viceroy of Huguang, and he ordered a crackdown of the revolutionaries, arresting and executing several prominent members. On the evening of the 10th of October, Wu Zhaolin, as provisional commander, led the revolutionary elements of the new army as they staged a mutiny against the Qing garrison in Huguang, capturing the residence of the viceroy in the process, along with several strategic points in the city after some intense fighting. As the viceroy escaped, the Qing garrison fell into disarray. From the evening of the 10th of October until noon the following day, more than 500 Manchu soldiers were killed and over 300 were captured. Establishment of the Hubei military government. On the 11th of October, the mutineers established a military government representing Hubei province and persuaded one of the high-ranking officers in the new army, Li Yuanhong, to become the temporary leader. Li was eventually convinced, after initially being reluctant, to accept the proposal made by the mutineers. The newly established military government were assured that foreign powers would not intervene in the uprising as they raised their Iron Blood 18-star flag. While the flag was being raised for the first time, they signalled for other provinces to follow their lead. The next day, the 12th, the revolutionaries marched onwards across the province, first taking the nearby cities of Hankou and Henyang, both now also part of the city of Wuhan. Battle of Yangsha. The Qing government responded to the uprising by calling on the expertise of Yuan Shikai and his Beiyang army to march on Wuchang. For the revolutionaries, Huang Xing would arrive in early November to take overall command. Some positions of the revolutionary forces found themselves under attack from the Beiyang army, with the imperial soldiers recapturing Hankou on the 1st of November and Hanyang on the 27th of that month. Collectively, the battle for the two cities became known as the Battle of Yangsha. The offensive was then halted as Yuan Shikai began to secretly hold negotiations with the revolutionaries. Aftermath. The Wuchang Uprising took many revolutionary leaders by surprise. Huang Xing and Song Jiaran were unable to reach Wuchang in time. Sun Yat-sen was travelling in the USA, speaking to overseas Chinese and appealing for financial support when the uprising occurred. After uprising success, the revolutionaries sent telegraphs to other provinces asking them to follow their lead. In total, 18 provinces in southern and central China agreed to secede from the Qing government by the end of December 1911. Part of the uprising's resolution saw the Qing government agreeing to a general amnesty of all political prisoners. Yang Jingwei was among those released. In the same month, Sun Yat-sen returned to China to participate in the provisional presidential election, winning the vote. Representatives from the seceding provinces met on the 1st of January 1912 and declared the founding of the Chinese Republic, with Sun Yat-sen sworn in as its first president. The new republic then negotiated with Yuan Shikai to put pressure on the Qing government to surrender, offering Yuan Shikai the presidency in the process. On the 12th of February 1912, Empress Dowager Long Yu, on behalf of Aisling Gyoro Puyi, the Xuantong Emperor, announced his abdication of the Qing throne, marking not only the end of the dynasty, but the end of imperial rule in China. That brings us to the end of this video, highlighting a historical era that's helped shape China today. If you've enjoyed watching and it's shown you a little detail of life and events here in China, then your subscribing to my channel would mean a lot to me. Thank you for watching. Make sure you click on the link to the next video, and until the next time, goodbye for now.